Have you seen these? Because we have seen these for a little while, and that's because we helped design these
Yes, we
stamps.
did.
And this is that story.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this is coming out a little bit after the stamp has been released, and that's because we were technically under NDAs.
Right.
Obviously, couldn't talk about
Yeah.
this. And we can't really provide proof. We can't
Yeah.
really show the original stamp for obvious reasons,
Yep.
or the emails from the artist who we were in contact with.
Yeah.
But what we will do is try and show some of the emails from School Bus Heritage and the original notes that we sent over
Right.
as our proof, because obviously this is kind of a bizarre story that
Yeah.
might
It
be a
just
little
kind
hard
of
to
came
believe.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, but we just felt we've been waiting to do this video
Yeah.
for
And
many years.
we both wanted to do it when we were in the same place, because trying to do it when he's where he lives and I'm where I live, it's like we can do it, but with this particular video, we both wanted to put some good effort into it. So, we had to wait. So in 2018, a USPS artist contacted the Museum of Bus Transportation in Hershey for help with a stamp for a school bus stamp. The museum referred the stamp designer to School Bus Heritage, which is kind of us.
Kind of.
You remember that short-lived dream? The artist contacted us asking for expertise in school buses to determine if the bus was anatomically correct and looking for information on the bus depicted in the
Original stamp.
Yeah, the original stamp.
So as I mentioned, we were under NDA, so the artist sent over some NDAs for us to sign because this project was completely confidential. Couldn't talk to anyone about this as much as we wanted to, because this was a really cool
it really was.
project. So then you asked me to...
I was like, hey Cameron, go check the School Bus Heritage.
yeah, because it was pretty cool. So he basically wanted another pair of eyes to make sure that, whatever final design that they threw out there wasn't going to be something
I mean, I didn't want to only be looking at it with my eyes and somehow screw something up, because my eyes aren't that good anyways. But, I didn't want to screw this opportunity up for the whole industry, so I got a second set of eyes for that.
Yeah, so that's where I come in. And then the artist sent over the original design for the stamp. Again, I wish I could show you pictures of this, but we can't. So the original stamp had the wrong door frames. They were almost like old carpenter door frames where they had the 3 window panes, and it looked really weird because the stamp was still a CE, or was made to look like a CE, and it just wasn't right. It also had a stop sign next to the door on the passenger side, which is obviously wrong. That doesn't belong on school buses. And then the bottom of the stamp, it was actually originally a Texas school bus, and behind the back wheels on the stamp it said school bus, which wasn't really the right location for it. So just initially looking at the stamp, both of us very quickly realized there's a lot of work to do on this.
Yeah. So him and I talked for many hours just kind of discussing, what was, or just kind of discussing every little detail about the bus and, pulling up reference photos and just getting our notes together for what the artist would need to change. Yeah. So some of the changes that we made that made it to the final design, the stop sign was removed, changed the CE entrance door. We added crossview mirrors to the hood. The roof cap did not go all the way to the windshield, so they moved it to where it actually met the windshield and looked proper. Let's see. Hood vent needed to be removed because on CEs it's on the driver's side, so
We also suggested that the school bus be either moved or replaced, just because it was a Texas-specific thing to have a school bus on the side. And kind of on that same note, the original wheels or rims for the bus were yellow, and we again suggested, that's really only in California and Florida, so you might want to change them to a different color. And we suggested gray, which made it to the final design.
So we suggested to change the word school bus to some sort of school district. The ideas that we kind of came up included like unified school district, county school district, city school district, local school district, which ended up being what they used. ISD, public schools, U.S. Postal Service, USPS schools were our suggestions.
So after you and I, or rather when you and I were talking, we made just as many notes on every single thing that we could. So we typed up all those notes. We attached a bunch of reference pictures.
Which that's exactly, if I can, that's exactly what the person who we were in contact with was wanting, was just anything and everything on the original rendering, if it was incorrect or whatever, they wanted to know. So we really put the time and effort into it to make it what it is, now.
Right. So we made that whole document and we sent it over within 5 days of, or when the original contact was made with us, 5 days later we had sent it back. That includes all the NDAs and all of the notes. So this was back in 2018. We had finished the initial redesign of the stamp.
So in some of the artist's follow-up questions, I specifically mentioned to remove the 3 lines above the door, as they very much resembled an IC logo that you'd see above the door. The artist specifically said they did not want the bus to reflect any current product. So,
which that was left in the final design of the stamp.
Which I think it gives it character, but it kind of goes against what they said about not wanting it to look,
So all of that happened in November of 2018. In August of 2019, we got 2 more renderings for the stamp, which included most of our changes that we had suggested on there. And there were 2 different renderings that we had seen, one of which more closely resembles the final version of the stamp. But both of them had school bus written on the side, again, like the Texas bus. One of them included that and local school districts above it. The other one removed the local school districts and only had school bus written on the side. In both of those, they had moved school bus from behind the wheels to in front of the wheels to make it look more realistic.
So in August of 2020, more release paperwork needed to be filled out by us since the release was actually planned at that point. So in May of 2021, I had asked for a update with the stamp, and the artist replied that the stamp was completely ready to go, but it could not be released because the Postal Service still had plenty of stock left of the current additional ounce stamps that they had at the time.
So in August of 2022, we got another update saying that the stamp was going to be released sometime in 2023.
Which was really exciting.
Yeah, we were both, because it had been years since we originally started this, and it's finally coming to life.
Yeah.
So then on October 24th of 2022, USPS announced all of their new stamps that were going to be released in 2023, including the school bus stamp, and it was finally kind of made public.
And him and I were just going like
nuts.
And I just remember seeing, people from our friend group or just the industry sharing it and going crazy about it, and I'm just like, little do they know.
Yeah, we were still technically under NDAs at that point, and we really wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. So on January 5th, 2023, the U.S. Postal Service released the school bus stamp to the public. Now, the thing that I think is most ironic about this whole situation is where I have a first day of release thing. I'm going to open it real quick. Well, this isn't going to be real quick, but
I'd have to cut this part out. There we go.
Yeah. So I guess when they release the stamp, there's like a certain place that they release it in the country. I don't know how that all works, but I don't know if you can see exactly. But this one was released in High Point, North Carolina. Oh, yeah. So this one was released in High Point, North Carolina, which, as I'm sure all of you know, that is the home of Thomas Built Bus's manufacturing plant. And there's literally a CE on the stamp. So I think that's funny. I think it would have been a little bit more fitting in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I didn't make that decision. So I think that was probably one of the funniest little things about the whole thing is it got released in High Point, North Carolina.
I've got to say, I've been a bus enthusiast for a many number of years.
Since 1897.
maybe not that long. Right. Maybe not that long. But This is by far, and I've had the opportunity to do a lot of things as an enthusiast, but this is definitely right near or at the top of my list because this is such a cool project. And I remember the day of release, I went around to a couple different post offices trying to find the stamp.
I did the same thing. I went to the one in Lebanon and they didn't have it yet.
Yeah, it turns out I think you could only order
Yeah, a lot of
online.
they didn't even have it. You could only order it, so I ended up breaking down and just ordering my stamps. But just the day that like mine came in the mail, you know, actually opening it and getting to physically hold something that we both worked on was just, I mean, it was awesome. You know, something like at this kind of level, like an actual government agency.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of the coolest things I've had the opportunity to do as an enthusiast. Definitely, just a really fun process, even though it took, 4.5, 5 years
Yeah,
for
definitely
everything
worth.
to come out.
It was definitely worth the wait, though.
Yeah, and if you want to buy the stamps, we don't get paid for
We
it.
do not. I just want to make that very clear.
Yeah,
But I will link the Postal Service's website for you to, if, do they still sell?
I'm not sure if they still
I think this was only for the first day, I think.
I don't
could
know,
be wrong. But you can get these, and they do sell, I think you can get it in a single, can't you?
you can get a single, you can get a sheet. I think you can get like a roll of like 200 or something.
So, and this is an additional ounce stamp, which I mean, I'm not going to use these, but I don't know how, you know, because what do you need an additional ounce for? But
Heavier weights for paper.
oh, right.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. Cool little story behind the school bus stamps. I'm sure most of you by this point have probably seen them. And I'm glad we finally got to do this video because it's been something both of us have been wanting to talk about for the last...
I think since the night
Yeah.
that we had originally called and typed all this up, we've wanted to do this forever.
Yeah, so anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. Just the normal stuff, I guess. I don't know. I'll let you, if you'd like to, throw stuff in there.
Safety Liner C2, that's my channel. If you want to come check out and do more school bus stuff, I'm over there. Busboy 501, subscribe to both of us.
It's where is it?
It's up here, down here, over here, or over here, but that's where you comment. I don't know.
I don't know.
Just subscribe down below.
Remember
though.
when you used to be able to rate videos?
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, I guess that's it with all the information for our channels put in there. Like I said, I will include a link for the stamps if you would like to go purchase one. But yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching, and yeah.